Well, I mean, the heat wave burn made a huge difference last time. Maybe they don't get it twice in a row. Same leads on both sides. I just need this sword stance to work out. They did swap the order of their Pokemon, but that's not fooling me. Unreal. I don't even know what to say to that. Maybe this season was just cursed all along. The Toronto Rock Slide have missed the Prismatic Draft League playoffs. I mean, I'm recording this before Week 8 is entirely over, so the standings are not quite finalized yet, but I finished the season with 3 wins, and there are already at least 8 other teams with 4 wins, so making the playoffs is absolutely impossible now. Not the greatest thing to follow up on a championship, but it's okay. I've had a lot of fun with this Sword and Shield season. They're just going to be ups and downs sometimes. My draft was interesting. I got a lot of good Pokemon, I think, but there were definitely some pretty significant structural flaws that I never figured out how to fix, especially since I drafted in kind of an inflexible way, taking my first round pick into a free agent slot, and not really ever being very willing to pivot off of that. It happens. I just never locked in late in the season as well and found just the right modes to bring like I did last season. But we'll try to come back stronger, probably back under the Halifax Masquerade Men banner for Season 10. In the meantime, I like to do a send-off video where I use Pokemon from my team on whatever the VGC ladder at a given time is. But it's a little bit difficult right now because there is not a VGC 2022 ladder on Pokemon Showdown, that format just being too long ago. So I thought about a bunch of different solutions. Like I could just play Regulation J with the Pokemon that I have on my team that are in Scarlet and Violet, but that is exactly 6 Pokemon, so not a whole lot of flexibility there. I could play Gen 8 Doubles OU, but I've never played Doubles OU before. I know it's not exactly the same as VGC. You can't even Dynamax in that format, so Gmax Blastoise is still out. Not really a very satisfying answer anyway, or either. I even fired up Pokemon Shield on the Nintendo Switch again, just to see if I could find any opponents in ranked battles or even casual battles in that game. You can still play ranked battles in Sword and Shield, but the question was, is anyone actually doing that? And the answer seemed to be no. I made a few attempts, couldn't find an opponent at all, so sadly not an option either. So in the end, not being satisfied with any of the options available, I've just mashed 2 of them together. I've made a Reg J team with the 6 Pokemon from my team that are legal in Scarlet and Violet, and I've made a Gen 8 Doubles OU team with all the other Pokemon, including Linoon, which of course was with us for, I was going to say the first half of the season. I think that's about right. Maybe it was a little bit less. The first 3 weeks, I think. This, of course, ends up being pretty lopsided because the only criterion for which team a given Pokemon was on was, does it exist in Scarlet and Violet or not? So a whole bunch of the pure support Pokemon ended up on the Gen 8 team, but it's fine. This was always going to be a scuffed send-off because we went back in time for the format this season. I'm just going to see what I can do. And it starts with Regieleki Weavile offense as usual, but I have the Calm Mind Alchemy. I have Volcarona supporting it. Actually, let's just make a paste here. Calm Mind, Acid Armor, Alchemy, Volcarona support, Mienshao support as well. Regieleki and Weavile is an offensive duo, and hopefully Regieleki will get some chances, even though it's Reg J with a lot of Tailwind and Trick Room and stuff. Hopefully Regieleki will get some chances to just click Electro Web and create openings for Weavile to outspeed things and knock them out. With complementary coverage to Regieleki, I do also have Choice Specs Blastoise. In the end, I couldn't think of anything else I wanted to do with it. Shell Smash is kind of fun, but I just want to hit as hard as I can with Water Spout, and hopefully with Aleki Speed Control, I'll get an option to do that into something. It's a little bit, not exactly an optimal Choice Specs Pokemon, but it might be fun. And then, well, these are probably a little bit cut off, but it's fine. You're missing a couple of protects, that's all you can't see. And then there's not much more to be said about this, except I can use, of course, the Terrestrial mechanic, because I am playing with this team in Generation 9. So let's see how that goes. I should be at the very bottom of the Reg J ladder. I don't actually remember whether I've played on this account before. I think I might have by mistake once, but anyway, right off the bat, we get Cloister, Defense Deoxys, Shadow Rider Calyrex, Azumarill. My opponent also has an Alchemy, and they have Bronzong, so that's not a composition I've seen before. But I think I could just try to aggressively set up the Alchemy into this. There's no great offensive threat on their team, except Calyrex, and maybe like Shell Smash Cloister, and maybe Belly Drum Azumarill too, but I think Regieleki can threaten any of those. If I just lead that with Alchemy, I should be able to create openings for Alchemy to get set up. And then I'm not interested in bringing Mienshao out of this. I don't think it really does anything. All of the other three I think are credible. Weavile going with Icicle Crash instead of Triple Axle this time, a little bit safer. Doesn't have a way to hit the Azumarill though for good damage. Or the Cloister, just because of the sheer physical bulk that thing has. Volcarona could at least maybe burn Azumarill, get some Helmet Chip, redirect an attack away from Alchemy. So I'll bring Volcarona and I'll bring Specs Blastoise to this one. It's Cloister and Deoxys. Okay, I think I just want to try to delete the Cloister right away if I can. And I'll just go for a Calm Mind with Alchemy. So let's just Thunderbolt Cloister. We could see a Terra, or we could see a Switch. They don't have an Electric Resist though. They just let me one-shot it. Okay. And it's Cosmic Power Deoxys. Alright, this is going to be a little bit rough, as we are both setting up our bulky Pokemon here. Is it Decorate into Deoxys, so that it can attack, while also boosting up its defenses? I want to get ahead of that, so I'll just Thunderbolt the Alchemy here. Good damage. It is Decorate into Deoxys, but it just goes for another Cosmic Power, so Regieleki will get another chance to attack the Alchemy. I'm actually just going to protect both of my Pokemon here, scout what they do. I could see them protecting their Alchemy and then attacking with Deoxys. But nope, they just go for another Decorate and another Cosmic Power, so I actually do lose some, I do lose, at least one tempo there. But what I was trying to avoid was they protect Alchemy and knock out Regieleki. But I just get the Alchemy now. Hopefully I can still handle the Deoxys. It has gotten a lot of opportunities to set up here, while they just completely allow Regieleki to sweep the rest of the team. Shadow Rider Calyrex is here now. That means they didn't bring Azumarill. I still don't know which attacking stat this Deoxys will use against me. It could even be mixed. So I don't know whether I will end up wishing I had an Acid Armor on Alchemy, but into Calyrex, I mean, I think I just think about Draining Kiss, because it could be Sash Calyrex. Yeah, let's go for Draining Kiss at +3, and let's go for Electro Web. We miss Deoxys. We get a speed drop on the Calyrex. Oh, that's what they were setting up for this whole time. I should have realized. And with all those boosts on the Calyrex... Okay, I might lose this, actually. With all those boosts on the Calyrex, Alchemy really doesn't do much with a Draining Kiss. Yeah, I don't really have anything good for this Calyrex. I only brought special attackers, and they're all outsped by it except the Lecky. Maybe I get a crit here. No? And they crit my Alchemy back. Alright, GG. They got me good in the end. I don't know why I didn't think of Psych Up Calyrex. I've brought that on some of the silly teams I've tried in this format. Yeah, that's definitely my bad. I mean, we're just going to drop to an Astral Barrage here, but let's just target 2 attacks into Calyrex. Okay, rough start. Let's see if we can do a little bit better than that. Okay, 5 Pokemon. Volcarona, Alchemy, Koraidon, Raging Bolt, Incineroar. With all that power, you might only need 5. But also, why does everyone have an Alchemy so far? Obviously, I have an Alchemy because I drafted it in the PDL, but both opponents so far have had it as well. How about that? Setting my Alchemy up doesn't feel so good here, but I don't really have anything that does feel so good. I guess I'm going to do the Lucky Weavile lead this time. It is very weak to Incineroar. So I'll bring Blast. I'll bring Volcarona. I don't love Blastoise into Sun. And I'll bring Alchemy again, but I won't lead with it this time. They lead Volcarona and Alchemy. So Weavile's not very well positioned here. I can pivot out to my Volcarona, I think. At least threaten like a Struggle Bug or some slow Fiery Dance setup. Let's go for a Thunderbolt into their Alchemy. I think their Volcarona is more threatening. Let's go for a Thunderbolt into that. The goal at this rate might be to actually win a game on this ladder with this team. We'll see. The nice thing is, Regieleki is so fast. Should still be threatening the Volcarona. Go for Fiery Dance and a Thunderbolt. Let's go. I think the Thunderbolt will KO the Volcarona. We'll go for a Fiery Dance into their Alchemy, get some chip, maybe get a boost. Since I'm not running Quiver Dance Volcarona with Decorate Alchemy, unlike my opponent. Why don't they have a second restricted Pokemon? That's what they're missing. They have an empty slot, and they only have one restricted. You'd think they could come up with one to use. Maybe they're just... Oh, whoops, didn't account for that. Not used to playing with Terra with my PDL team, huh? I could have Fiery Danced it. Oh well. I can Ice Shard it now, actually. And then Weavile will get wrecked by the Dazzling Gleam from the Alchemy, but... That's not the worst thing. I'm going to Protect here. Try to bait out their Protect. Like in that last game, but hopefully it'll work this... At least this time I don't think they have a way to punish it. Right? Because Volcarona is always vulnerable to the ice... Their Volcarona is always vulnerable to the Ice Shard. Kind of the theory behind my draft coming out here. Fast Pokemon with complementary offensive coverage. It's just not quite enough to hold up over a Draft League season. As I think was clearly demonstrated, because people can bring all kinds of creative modes to mess with you. There's just not a lot of speed control when you're largely relying on high base speeds. That was a big thing that that hurt me over the course of the season. Well, they can't Terrastalize Koraidon. Also, the Fiery Dance will hit Alchemy harder if they let me. I'm going to Protect Weavile this turn, once again. Try not to get got by their Protect, but it could happen. Actually, if I knock out Alchemy here, maybe I'm letting something threatening in for free, like the Incineroar. But if it is Incineroar, I probably pivot Weavile out. I'm also getting pretty lucky with my Fiery Dance boost this game. Okay, it's Raging Bolt, so... I think I'll just double target the Koraidon here. They haven't been protecting it. Maybe they'll start to now. But I don't think so. Okay. Do I actually get my Fiery Dance here? Yeah, KOs. Nice. Another boost for Volcarona. The Thunderbolt does a lot back. They can, of course, Thunderclap now, but... I have my Calm Mind Alchemy in the back. I'm going to protect... I think they do probably want to Thunderclap Volcarona, so for this turn I'm going to Rage Powder and Calm Mind. This way, if I'm wrong and they try to Thunderbolt Alchemy, it's redirected into Volcarona. Alchemy is a win con at this point anyway. And if they go for Thunderclap into either of my Pokemon, it does nothing. They actually did Thunderbolt. Okay. I'll Protect here because it wastes a turn of their Sun, which is getting close to its end. The Raging Bolt will hit a little bit less hard after that. Oh, the Para is not... Oh, the Para is really bad. Don't like that one bit. They just need a crit or a full Para at just the right time, so... Oh, wait! I've had my Terra Electric this whole time and never clicked it. They said give up. I don't know why they said that. I forgot to click my Terra Electric, which I have on Alchemy because it's just a... You know, reasonable defensive type with only one weakness. It resists Steel, and it's not weak to Poison. They switched to Draco Meteor now. That is a stronger attack, but it also lowers their special attack when they land it, which is another thing that I like about turning Alchemy into an electric type here. I don't know why they said give up in the chat. I'm pretty sure this position is advantageous for me, though I can still lose to a crit or a really badly timed full Para. Let's just get my special defense all the way up at least, even if they can Snarl. The reveal that they have Snarl makes it a little bit trickier, but... Of course, I can crit them, too. I just have to be attacking again first. And if they're not still snarling, See, I was looking for another Combine there because I could guarantee the next Draining Kiss I go for is +2. Maybe I should just be attacking at this point. Because again, I can crit them just like they can crit me. Yeah, okay. I'm fine. I should have just gone for the Draining Kisses more consistently. And after saying give up in the chat several turns ago, they do themselves give up, as Alchemy is just too much for this Raging Bolt to break. I only brought Alchemy 1 week this season. It was my 2nd round pick. I just never found more than that one matchup where I was confident with it. Another issue with a fair bit of my team, but it put in work here. Whoa, this is interesting. Okay, low kicks, Sandaconda, Sinistra, Toxapex, Magnezone, and Dragonite. Not a single restricted Pokemon to be found on either side of this matchup. And by the way, I think because I'm recording this on November 1st and the Jays are playing Game 7 of the World Series tonight, which I will definitely go watch in a few hours, I think I'm going to treat each of the 2 teams here like I'm playing a best of 7 series with it. So right now the series is 1-1, me versus the latter. Alchemy's pretty good here, except the Toxapex is an issue for it. The Magnezone as well, but I could Terra Electric around that. The Toxapex could still get chipped. The Dragonite also could have Haze. I think I'm just going to do... I could do a Lucky Weavile lead here. The only thing is... low kicks is immediately very threatening into those 2 Pokemon. I can do Volcarona, Alecki, Weavile, Alchemy. Let's do that. Okay, Sandaconda and Toxapex. Okay. So Volcarona is not really in a good position here, and there's nobody I want to switch in. I'm gonna click Fiery Dance into Toxapex in case they Terra Grass to resist the Thunderbolt that I'm also clicking into it. They just Baneful Bunker. Okay, what does Sandaconda go for? It can't paralyze Regieleki. It's just Earthquake. Interesting. Okay, didn't see that coming. That's a bit rough. Now I don't have a good way to break the Toxapex. But I'll just go Weavile next. Save Alchemy for the late game. I might just lose to Toxapex from here. It depends on its set, though. Like, if it can't damage Alchemy very well, then there's definitely still a chance. Let's just, in the meantime, try to get rid of the Sandaconda. They protect that this turn. Okay. I found an opponent who is weaving some protects into the way they play. Oh, it's just protect one Pokemon, spread move with the other? Well, in that case, protect Icicle Crash. It's Toxapex's turn to protect. What a weird team. Because it's so if you know, when they use a lead like that, it's so rigid in how they have to play with it. Maybe it's like weakness policy Toxapex and... I don't know what. Okay, they did some... they got Toxic Spikes on the field. That's probably GG. I needed to get Alchemy in before the Toxic Spikes, I guess. Weavile also has to be afraid of Baneful Bunker, so let's do this. It's at least non-zero chip into... Toxapex. And yeah, there's a Protect again. They're looking to get some chip damage as well. My team was just not equipped. Okay, yeah, there's no way Alchemy is overcoming 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. 1 was probably already no good. This is just a really rough matchup, actually, for what I brought here. Missing an Icicle Crash is not great either, but I don't think it matters all that much at this point. I think I just don't have enough to break through. Even if I don't let Regieleki go down turn 1, it's a hard Pokemon to keep around for long, and come to think of it, the whole rest of my team kind of loses to Toxapex, huh? Close Combat, resisted. Every attack this has is resisted. I don't think there's much I could have done in this one. Alright. GG. 1-2. Tornadus, Araquanid, Incineroar, Terapagos, Iron Hands, and Zamazenta. Okay. Another opponent with 2 restricted Pokemon. Just the second one in the video. It's funny how much I've been leaning on the Alchemy, considering that I didn't do that in the PDL season. I kind of want to again, and I do have Aroma Veil, so the Tornadus can't taunt it. I can Terra Electric on Zamazenta, but that opens up other weaknesses. Actually, just mainly to the Terrapagos. But I can threaten Terrapagos with Mienshao. It's not great, but it's something. Let's do Alchemy Lead again this time. Volcarona's good into some of their... Volcarona's actually good into quite a bit of their team, because I can also Struggle Bug in front of Terrapagos. It's just, it just has to be afraid of Tornadus and Araquanid. With that in mind, let's do Regieleki Lead with Volcarona in the back, and I'll bring Mienshao. Okay, Tornadus, Iron Hands, not bad. I will gamble for an Acid Armor on Alchemy, but I'll protect Regieleki, which I think is the more likely fake-out target. It's Booster Energy Hands, by the way. They try to taunt Alchemy, that's not going to work. Oh, it's Swords Dance Booster Energy Hands. Uh-oh. Oh no. That's really scary, actually. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt into Torn here, regardless, and... I'll just try to keep boosting up my Alchemy. Sash Torn. That's not really what I wanted to see. I expect more to see a Covert Cloak on it. Okay, paralyzed by a Thunder Punch. What can you do? Maybe at least I get to take out the Torn now. They don't even have an Electric Resist that they can switch in. They do get their Tailwind up, but I knock out the Torn. That's something. They KO Aleki back, but I think that was the most important target that Aleki had to deal with. I guess I go Volcarona here. I kind of have to get out of this Tailwind before I can try to deal with Terrapagos. Alchemy just protected? No. Yes. Alchemy just protected. Okay. Kind of low, considering. Okay, I'll go for a Calm Mind, I guess. Might be too slow at this point. But I don't know what else I can do. And I'll just go for a Struggle Bug with Volcarona. They have Meteor Beam on Terrapagos. Why not? Sure. I mean, it's a reasonable set, but this opponent just has so many things that are not quite what I'm expecting and very scary to deal with. I go Mienshao now. I can fake out Terrapagos, and then the Focus Sash will get me through this one turn. Then I guess I have to Detect on the next turn. I'll go for a Draining Kiss into hands here, so I can protect both my Pokemon next turn. Get out of the Tailwind at least. Hands actually attacks Alchemy and it KOs. That's really bad. Mienshao can beat Terrapagos now if they let it, but it can't win the game. So that'll be a 1-3 series deficit. Yeah. Oh, we don't even take out Terrapagos. Well, GG. This opponent just had a bunch of the hardest set for what these Pokemon were. They just had a bunch of the hardest sets for this team to deal with. Alright, back against the wall. Time to lock in once again. Nothing new around here, having to lock in. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Let's go. Ice Rider Calyrex, Farigiraf, Chi-Yu, Miraidon, Amoonguss, Urshifu. Okay, this is just a legit team. This is, well... I have Specs Blastoise. Let's see what happens. Okay, so... Alchemy is probably my best answer to Calyrex Trick Room stuff. The problem is it can be overwhelmed by the Miraidon Chi-Yu Turbo offense. With that in mind, I want to lead Aleki, but I also want to... Or I want to lead Alchemy, but I also want to lead Aleki Weavile. I think the compromise here is I lead Aleki Volcarona. I can redirect an attack and get Volcarona knocked out and get Aleki or Weavile in that way. They lead Urshifu, which honestly I didn't even really think about compared to the other options they had available. It's with Farigiraf. I would love to have Aleki on the field right now, but I would not love to have Aleki on the field against the Calyrex, so that's why I led the way I did here. Can I get away with terrestrializing Volcarona? I think it's worth it because Urshifu with the Surging Strikes is so threatening into my Alchemy, so even though I might want the Terra Electric later, I think I am just going to calm... I'm going to Acid Armor, anticipating that they brought Calyrex. Yeah. And Terra Grass Rage Powder. I think the the Rocky Helmet damage and potential burn into Urshifu is worth it, because that's just so... It has the ability that... Or it has the item that prevents... It has, what is it? Padded... protective pads or something? Again, a legit item on Urshifu. It's not like it's unheard of, but I haven't seen it in a while. It has the item that prevents it from taking helmet damage. Okay, well... Everybody's full of surprises on the ladder today. In some sense, you love to see it, but I'd also like to be winning more games. Let's go for Draining Kiss into Urshifu. Unboosted, because that mon is just so dangerous. And Struggle Bug. Okay, Draining Kiss does good damage. Obviously, Struggle Bug doesn't. It chips the Farigiraf. They get the Urshifu out of here. The Calyrex is here, so at least I had the right instinct going for Acid Armor before Calm Mind. Let's go for another Acid Armor. Let's protect the Volk. I'm going to have to sack something to this Calyrex soon. So, best to get my Alchemy's defense up as high as possible. As that Glacial Lance does quite a bit of damage, but it'll do less now. And Acid Armor is a faster boost. I just noticed the leftovers for Farigiraf. I don't know what that's about. Acid Armor at least is a faster boost than Glacial... Or, what's it called? Chilling Neigh. Actually, I can pivot Weavile in here and maybe get through a couple more turns without losing him on. I think I preserved the Volcarona to do that. So let's Acid Armor and switch to Weavile. Assuming Weavile takes the Glacial Lance, which it does. Not super well, but it does. Alchemy's at +6 defense. Taking a lot of damage, though. I protect through the last... They might get me with by clicking Trick Room with both Pokemon, but I'll take that risk. They actually can do that this turn, though. But hopefully I get out of their Trick Room here, as they fish for a KO. Yeah, high horsepower. Okay, so they're not clicking Trick Room with their Pokemon. That means this one turn there's no Trick Room on the field. Now, my best guess... I would like to chip the Calyrex. I'd like to knock off its item, actually. But my best guess as to what they do here is protect Calyrex and set Trick Room with Farigiraf. So with that in mind, I'm going to double into Farigiraf this turn. Oh, I should have actually just clicked Calm Mind with Alchemy. I didn't realize the knockoff would just wipe out the Farigiraf like that. Oh well. And it's Miraidon last. Okay, well I can Ice Shard it now. I'd like to get a knockoff into Calyrex, but... Check Alchemy. I'd like to get a knockoff into Calyrex, but Weavile's going to be outsped and KO'd before I can, so... Ice Shard into Miraidon instead. Watch them have Protect. These people on the ladder are full of surprises today. Good damage. They went for Volt Switch into Alchemy. They get the Trick Room back up. The good news is Ice Shard doesn't care about Trick Room. Ice Shard into Miraidon is just free now. They could switch out to Urshifu, but oh, I don't even have to Ice Shard Miraidon because Alchemy will be slower than Miraidon, right? So it'll go first in Trick Room, and it should take a Glacial Lance at +6 defense. I've prevented the Calyrex from getting any boost so far, although I don't think I can do that much longer. Let's try to take advantage of that for right now. Draining Kiss Miraidon. Urshifu won't want to take that either, so this slot is pinned, and protect Weavile. Perfect. Look at Alchemy putting in work. I probably should have tried to do a bunch more with this Pokemon than I did during the season, huh? Now I can Draining Kiss Miraidon again. Calyrex takes a KO now. I've done all I can. I mean, I prevented it from getting a KO until turn 9. I think that's pretty good. I can either Ice Shard it for a little bit of chip, or I can go for a double Protect with Weavile. I think I'm okay with the Ice Shard. I don't think I need to prevent it. I don't think I need that badly to prevent it. Oh, it doesn't even get the KO because I have the Life Orb. I forgot. So actually, with a Protect on my next Mon, that's 2 more turns preventing Calyrex from knocking anything out. However, Alchemy doesn't get the KO and Miraidon gets wiped out by an Electro Drift. Okay, so I lose, but, well, maybe I can get through this if I get double Protects on both my Pokemon here. If I'd ever clicked Calm Mind... There was that one turn where I attacked nothing with Alchemy when I should have clicked Calm Mind. And if I had clicked Calm Mind there, I think I win the game, right? Oh well. So close. Double Protect. Regieleki gets it. Well, can Aleki take an Electro Drift? Oh, it's, right, Electro Drift is a contact move. They don't even have to. Miraidon is knocked out by the helmet. We live in a world where Urshifu didn't take helmet damage, but Miraidon did. Alright, Thunderbolt crit for the win. Not quite. Actually, a crit wouldn't even have done it. If I get crit back, there's no way that one mattered. I feel like I played that one pretty well, actually, but that one mistake, not clicking Calm Mind, pretty much cost me the game. So unfortunately, I don't win the World Series on the Reg J ladder, but now it's time to play doubles OU for the first time in my life with a team of mostly just weird support Pokemon, and surely that will go better, right? Hopefully I'll get some opponents. I did not test whether anyone would be playing this ladder, I just hoped. Well, if it's a long wait, I'll just cut some of it from the video. Oh, I also thought about trying to do something in ZA, but I think Zygarde might be the only Pokemon in my draft that exists in ZA, so that was no good either. It would be unfortunate, though, to not get Zygarde into any part of this send-off, considering that I drafted it for content. Okay, no, dead ladder, I think. I've been waiting for several minutes, and there are only 231 accounts that even have ratings listed here, so maybe I'll try again later, but otherwise, I'm gonna have to find something else to complete this send-off. I don't know, this might be a bit of a patchwork one, but we'll see. You know what, let's just try National Dex doubles. It's not Gen 8, but turns out it's pretty hard to get random Gen 8 games in 2025. I tried. I really did, but here we are. Choice Band Zygarde, obviously I brought it almost every week of the PDL season. There was 1 week I brought Choice Scarf instead, and 1 week I didn't bring Zygarde, and otherwise Choice Band every single time. Since we're playing with Terra, I can go Terra Ground and double down on the power of that 1,000 arrows. And then got redirection from Tangela, got redirection from Togepi. I wanted to play a Dynamax format and run Trick Eject Button Purloin, but no Dynamax format, so it's just got some other support options. And all that redirection can also be beneficial to Belly Drum Linoon. Plus, I have a Ninjask tech that I never found room to bring in the season, which is Swords Dance, Speed Boost, Baton Pass. With all the redirection support, maybe I can set up Ninjask, get a Baton Pass out to Zygarde, and just sweep with that. That's the hope. Let's see if somebody's playing this format. I do have to go fairly soon, but hopefully I can get a best of 7 here as well. And then hopefully go watch the Jays win the World Series tonight. I guess we'll see how well that is aged by the time this goes up. Swampert, Pelipper, Archaludon, Volcarona, Meowscarada, Galarian, Darmanitan. I don't know this format at all. This looks reasonable to me. They probably have a strong team. What can I say? Archaludon is their only extreme speed resist before Terra, although they could get like a flame body burn with Volcarona. They don't have any kind of wide... They do have wide guard, they have Swampert. Tangela is stronger to Swampert. I'm gonna try... I'm gonna try... This... Oh, right, you use all 6 Pokemon, I forgot. I'm so VGC brained, I was trying to pick which 4. Okay, well that changes things a bit, but... The idea behind this lead is just Belly Drum and Swords Dance, and whichever of my Pokemon survives can do its thing. If one of them survives. Well, I have a sash on Ninjask, right? So I did remember that there's no item clause in this format, so I have repeated the Eviolite, as you probably saw on Togepi and other thing. Okay. I was hoping my opponent would take a KO this turn, though. I can protect Ninjask. And maybe they take a KO next turn. I get a redirector in. Let's just go for some damage on Pelipper. It could have a sash. Swampert can't. Hey, I get to play with Mega Evolution a little bit after ZA came out because I'm playing a National Dex format. Not bad. Alright, let's go Togepi next. Because I can follow me and Baton Pass. Darmanitan is here. They probably know what I'm trying to do. I mean, there are only so many things that this team I'm using can do. Oh, Pelipper also gets Wide Guard. They probably have Wide Guard. How do I stop that? Honestly, I think I just have to lock into not 1,000 arrows, unfortunately. I guess I'll lock into high horsepower. Into Darmanitan. No Wide Guard this turn. Unfortunate. Would have loved 1,000 arrows. Let's go... I could Terra Water the Tangela. The Pelipper's Hurricane is not necessarily that nightmarishly threatening into it. Okay. Meowscarada. Not really what I want to see. I'm going to Terra Water. I can't protect Zygarde because it's choice banded. I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain into Pelipper and a high horsepower into Meowscarada and hope for the best. Sash Meowscarada, okay. Probably normal in this format. Don't know for sure. Don't know this format. There goes my choice band. I can switch moves. Unfortunately, I do lose my Zygarde here. And I've turned this into a water type in front of Meowscarada. The good news is I can go Ninjask. I can Giga... So what I'm going to do is play around a Sucker Punch here. I can Giga Drain and dual Wing Beat the Meowscarada. If they Sucker Punch Ninjask, I still get the KO with Tangela. They switch our Chaladon in. Oh, I don't have anything to beat our Chaladon anymore, do I? Zygarde was it. Okay, I can dual Wing Beat this and try to put our Chaladon to sleep. But they Electro Shot through my Tangela, so that Terra ends up really not paying off. And it's GG, I don't have enough offense. This will be funny if it does significant damage to Swampert. Ninjask is so weak, doesn't even do very much after the Screech. Oh well, 0-1. Rough start, but first game ever in this format. I'm learning quickly, I hope. On to game 2. Time to rally like the Toronto Blue Jays. Hopefully this ladder is not dead. Apart from that one opponent. It's National Dex doubles. Surely there are people playing this. Okay. Charizard, Indeedee, Iron Crown, Brute Bonnet, Garchomp, Grimmsnarl. Don't know why I skipped the Grimmsnarl at first. Looks pretty scary. Also looks like 1,000 arrows fodder if I can position it right. Extreme speed not so good into the psychic terrain. So let's do... I remember this time that I bring all 6 of my Pokemon. I can even Thunder Wave Charizard in psychic terrain as long as it's still a fire type. Let's do Togepi Ninjask. against Grimmsnarl Charizard. Okay. I don't especially want to see Heat Wave from Charizard, but with the Focus Sash on Ninjask, I can survive anyway, so let's just follow me in Sword Stance. Actually, a Heat Wave Burn would take out Ninjask, but my opponent would need some good luck to get that. What can you do sometimes, this Pokemon? Mega Charizard Y. Okay. Makes sense. It is Heat Wave. It gets up. Oh my god, okay. Alright, that's Pokemon. There's just not much you can do sometimes. Let's paralyze it. Togepi has nothing useful to do here, but I don't want to switch anybody else in, so Life Dew. Thunder Wave. I haven't even brought Power Construct on my Zygarde because I'm keeping it authentic to the PDL team where that ability was banned. I don't even get to use... I mean, I don't know if the complete form is even legal in this format. I wouldn't bet on it, but I don't get to use it. Okay, I've traded three of my Pokemon for a Para on Charizard, and for some reason some Life Orb recoil on their Life Orb Grimmsnarl. Let's Terra Ground, 1,000 Arrows, and see if they somehow let me get away with a Belly Drum. That's the plan now. Heat Wave? No. If I had just missed either target, or I'd gotten a full Para. But no such luck. It's all up to Tangela now. Big Giga Drain into Charizard. Let's go. Imagine if I did get the Sword Stance into Zygarde, right? 1,000 Arrows would KO both of these. And who knows what happens after that. Sky's the limit. Brute Bonnet would still be an issue. Now there's the full Para. One turn too late. Tangela gets to do some damage, though. You love to see it. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm getting a ton of luck when I don't need it. Call that even? I don't know. I think the timing makes a real difference there. Alright. 0-2. On to the next. Just have to give 110%. Leave it all on the field. Okay, Primarina, Noivern, Kommo-o, Gardevoir, Exploud, Kricketune. So they're using Boom Burst with Soundproof Pokemon. Or Telepathy, right? Noivern gets Telepathy, Kommo-o gets Soundproof, Gardevoir gets Telepathy, Exploud gets Soundproof. It looks like it's just a fully sound-based team, because I don't think Primarina gets Boom Burst, but it does, of course, use Hyper Voice. I don't know what Kricketune goes for here, but it's a very sound-focused Pokemon. Feels like a theme team. Don't know if it's a meta staple. Maybe it is, but I would guess probably more of a theme team. I would also guess there are a lot of spread moves coming out, and I don't have any wide guard on my team, so the Ninjask stuff probably not so effective this time. I think I'm actually better off just leading Zygarde, Purloin, and YOLOing it. Let's see. Oh, also Terra Ghost Linoon is reasonable, because they're probably going to throw off a lot of normal type attacks. Well, that can be the later game plan. For now, let's just 1,000 Arrows. Actually, let's just Scale Shot the Noivern and Thunder Wave it. Try to take that out. I'm less afraid of Kricketune. Maybe it does something crazy that I don't know about, but they have two Fairy types, so locking into Scale Shot means that if Zygarde doesn't get knocked out, but okay. Alright. I'll have to switch it out soon anyway. They got their Tailwind, and that's really bad. Really bad. What do I do here? Oh, I can Encore it. And Scale Shot. Okay. I found something, at least. Chocobug takes out Purloin. It's doing reasonable, not so bad damage to Zygarde, actually, considering it's not a very strong attack from not a very strong Pokemon. But I do take out the Noivern here. I guess I'll go Togepi, because that can just follow me. Follow me is not that good here. I don't know, Togepi can be the sacrificial lamb for whatever they're bringing in. Right, Gardevoir could go for Dazzling Gleam. It could Mega Evolve and go for Hyper Voice. That's probably what it is on this team, actually. Okay, let's go. Hyper Voice Struggle Bug will take out Ninjask. Let's go Tangela. If I sack both of my redirectors here, so be it. Let's try to break any Focus Sashes they have. Oh, Komodo switching in on the Dazzling Gleam. I hope I get to actually execute the move. Nice. Togepi tanks that. The Dazzling Gleam does so little. That is a double weakness to Fairy, but the Fairy type attack is coming from a Togepi. Well, last turn of Tailwind. They're probably going to take 2 KOs here. I probably will not be able to put the Mega Gardevoir to sleep, but I'm down to try. Dazzling Gleam again. Terra Dragon on the Komodo. Gardevoir takes out Togepi. Komodo goes for Clangorous Soul, so I do get a chance to land this Sleep Powder. But I don't know. Oh, I think the way I beat Komodo after that is Extreme Speed. In fact, I think I just bring Lanoon in here. Again, I cannot trust that they'll go for a single target attack, so I can't be bothered with Rage Powder here. I think I have to just... I'm going to Extreme Speed Komodo, hope it KOs with no boost, and I'll switch to Zygarde so I can threaten the sleeping Gardevoir. Need to make a... need to play for some momentum here. But +1 Komodo, I bet it takes this Extreme Speed, but what if it doesn't? It does. They just take out both my Pokemon. That's like all the offense I had left. It's just Tangela and Ninjask now. Alright, let's Giga Drain and Dual Wing Beat. Yeah, Ninjask outspeeds and takes out Komodo. Gardevoir stays asleep. And who's coming in? I guess I just needed that Extreme Speed to crit. Yeah, so that was the out I was playing toward. Explode. I'll go for a Sleep Powder, and I could be looking for a Swords Dance on Ninjask, but when am I getting the chance to do that? But actually, maybe I do need that to win the game. I think I just need Gardevoir to stay asleep here. Sleep Powder into Explode, Swords Dance. It wakes up. It's going to be Hyper Voice and Hyper Voice or Boom Burst. Taunt into Tangela. Okay, my Pokemon survived this turn, but both of these are awake now. They can almost just take the KOs that they need. Well, can't say I didn't give it a good effort. I'll Terra Flying because I have nothing else to do with my Terra in this game. Only need one hit of Dual Wing Beat to take out the Gardevoir. Guess I could have just knocked it out last turn. Explode takes out... Oh, it's a round team, of course. Round gets stronger as more Pokemon use it. I didn't even think of that. I don't know if that move is even still in the games in Scarlet and Violet. But that's what this team is built around. I see. Alright, well, why did they bother with that? They could just take the KO here. Alright, well... 0-3 now on the National Dex Doubles ladder. And... I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to need a little bit less 2025 Toronto Blue Jays right now, and a little bit more 2004 Boston Red Sox. Hate to give the Red Sox credit, but they did come back from this deficit. Let's see if the Toronto Rock Slide can take some inspiration and do the same thing. Repeat opponent. Not a dead ladder, but not a very alive one either. Well, I mean, the Heatwave burn made a huge difference last time. Maybe they don't get it twice in a row. Same leads on both sides. I just need this Swords Dance to work out. They did swap the order of their Pokemon, but that's not fooling me. Unreal. I don't even know what to say to that. Maybe this season was just cursed all along. You know what? We go back to the Halifax Masquerade Men next season. We keep who we were firmly in sight. Maybe experimenting with the new team name was just not to be accepted by the universe. I don't know what to even say about this one. Once again, I trade my first 3 Pokemon for a Para on Charizard, and I go Zygarde and Linoon. I could get the full Para this time that I didn't get last time. That's also a thing that could happen. Just extreme speed this time. Okay. Just extreme speed pays off. But the Terra Ground, intended in part to help Zygarde be able to take a Spirit Break, does no such thing, as the opponent follows up their back-to-back perfectly timed Heat Wave burns with a crit. And here's the Indeedee to make sure I can't extreme speed anymore. It's also immune to Shadow Claw. I actually had Throat Chop on Linoon originally, and I changed it to Shadow Claw just because with Terra available, I could go Terra Ghost. I guess I still Belly Drum and hope that there's something I can do. Actually, I guess this turn I just Protect and get it, burn a turn of their Psychic Terrain. The Indeedee can always follow me, so Linoon just can't attack. Actually... because I protected both Pokemon there, I've kind of positioned myself that I have to do this now, but I probably should be looking to Sleep Powder the Indeedee. Because if it's asleep, it can't follow me. Eviolite Tangela... okay. Eviolite Tangela takes the Spirit Break well, but then Life Orb Grimmsnarl takes itself out, which means it can go something more threatening, like this. I just need Tangela to tank this and put the Indeedee to sleep. That's all there is to it. Actually, that's not all there is to it, because then the Iron Crown still... outspeeds Linoon and avoids the Shadow Claw. Well, it's all moot anyway. Can I get a triple Protect with Linoon? I think the universe owes me one at this point. There's the double. Here we go. Linoon flies out. And so does Tangela. GG. 0-4 on the National Dex doubles ladder. That was always going to be a difficult one. Did win a game in Regulation J, but unfortunately that is the send-off for the Toronto Rock Slide. It's just hard to find anything to do with a Sword and Shield draft team in 2025, but I keep saying it was not a very successful season. A lot went wrong competitively. I didn't know how to draft in Sword and Shield. And I made some mistakes in the builder and in the games along the way, but it was a very fun season. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. I'm looking forward to watching the Jays tonight. I'm looking forward to watching the PDL playoffs over the next few weeks. And I have no idea what Season 10 is going to be, but obviously looking forward to that too. Try to get things back on track then. But it should be a lot of fun whatever happens.